that's good. All right, we're recording and we will be streaming. Testing.
Does Julio have the same light in his face?
What do you mean? Yeah, he's got one in his face.
I just want to make sure he endures the same pain I am. We got to get the bulbs. Okay, let's go. Ready?
Yep. You should see it here in a second. Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah, it would pop up on my notifications if I subscribed, right?
When I get the other setup, we'll have an intro here
Yes, we'll definitely have an intro.
so we can get all ready before I hit the
It'll
live.
just be like 12 different shots of the juice in different outfits. Just be like,
We're live.
I'm like a social influencer now, man.
I think so. We'll just machine gun the juice at him, right? So we're live. Jared
Yeah.
is telling us we're live. I don't see us yet on my computer, but
I see it.
you do see it?
Yeah.
Is this it? Where? Jared, why don't I see it?
Refresh your computer, maybe.
That usually helps. It's this thing from like 1978, this laptop I have.
What?
It looks very 78-ish, right?
You're saying that computer's older than I am.
I don't know when it's from, but the refresh isn't working very well. Oh, here we go. 2 people watching. I got a bright yellow shirt on. I forgot about that.
2 people watching are the 2 people right across
That's
from
what
me.
I got. We figured that one out. So anyway, we'll be doing the show for ourselves and for the future listeners.
We got to break 11 viewers to break our all-time high.
Right. I got to get there we go, like a different angle on this. Is that better? Do we like that angle better?
That looks good.
I can't see anything, though, so you're going to have to tell me what's going on.
I will.
Maybe this angle. I got to like this angle. Juice looks just so good at his angle. When we get our permanent setup, we're going to have to work on my angle.
Yeah, we
Juice's
will.
angle looks just so good. I mean,
We want more of this in your background then.
yes.
More
Yeah.
of that.
We got Vast coming, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We got welcome. We are the Pivot. This is February 5th, 2021. We're here all 3 live from Crybaby Hill Studios. We got the lights on today. We got the cameras. It's a fun Friday morning. We're here to break down the 9-game NBA slate, give you some picks on some over-unders. I've got Jared to the right. Hey, Jared.
What's up?
Good morning. Juice right across from me in that beautiful blue thing of a jacket.
I got a compliment on it yesterday.
I do like that jacket.
Nice.
Juice is just cut fresh from the tennis courts, correct?
No,
You didn't get any hits in this morning?
no. Went to Hot Works.
What the hell are we chewing on, Juice? We got an hour later going on here. What,
I got sweet tarts. You want one?
it looks like a donkey.
Feature sponsor of the show.
Sponsor the show, Sweet Tarts.
Yeah, well, so Juice is getting juicy over there. It
Yeah.
looks like
We
I'm
sniff,
almost done.
Anyway.
It's a sour one.
we sniff the chalk and chew the Sweet Tarts.
Yeah.
yeah. So you guys had a chance to wear your T-shirts yet in public?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually have.
Nice. Okay.
We got Matt in the comments.
Nice.
What's
Matt.
up, fellas?
Oh yeah. What's up, Matt?
Hope Matt got his T-shirt.
He says he's still waiting on it.
What? I literally. Seriously?
Yeah, he says, I'm still waiting on my T-shirt so I can advertise this awesome show.
I thought that Matt is that Matt from Tulsa?
Matt Mayu? Is that who?
Where
that
is
who-
Matt from? Let us know where you're from, Matt.
I thought if it's Matt from Tulsa, I sent him one like on 2-day air. I paid $7. So,
Well,
I don't know. Yes, that's
okay.
what he says.
Right on.
well, Matt, I promised I sent one. I sent the address that you sent me. Hopefully, it finds its way to you soon. The guys in Denver and all across the United States have gotten theirs, but the guy from Tulsa, who I sent the same day, hadn't got his. Well, promise is on the way. You got you got one coming. I promise. So. Hopefully it comes back to me. I put my work address, so if it comes back to me, Matt, we'll get it resent out to you. So, but thanks for joining us.
Yours
And
is frozen over there if you
my-
want.
is that because of what do we got going on with my computer here?
Whoops.
Is your streaming working over there, Julio?
I think so. Yeah, it seems like it.
I don't necessarily need it either. So,
Okay, cool.
my chat didn't work anyway. So, there we go. There's Jared. There's me. There's you. Anyway, yeah, Matt, I promise it's sent. Now I can't see the chat, so
Sweet.
now everything's working.
Perfect.
Anyway, how you doing, Juice? How's life? How was last night on the slate? We didn't kill the props last night.
It was a weird slate, man. I mean, like I had to go out to dinner with some friends and stuff, and like
Where did they force you to go to dinner last night?
Celebrity Club.
Ooh, okay.
Probably won't go back.
Not going to be a sponsor, huh?
No. You know, it
Okay.
takes a lot to be one of our sponsors, and I don't think they got my stamp of
Yeah.
approval.
So we are sponsored by Vast Bank.
They get my stamp of approval.
Yes, Vast Bank is the bank of
Yeah.
the future. I call them. They're trying to do everything right. They're located here in Tulsa, but they're a national bank, and we're executively produced by Toby Biocchini. Little news by Vast Bank was in. You would like this, Jared. Did you see this in the news?
Is it the crypto news?
Yes.
Crypto news?
They were able to buy their first Bitcoin through using their software.
Whoa.
The first bank in the nation to do it.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I saw a little article last night on Yahoo Finance about it.
Really?
Yeah. So
That's pretty
pretty
awesome.
cool.
and that's our executive producer pushing that stuff through. So we got some good people in this show. Hopefully, everybody with their passion. We're gonna get this. We're in that weird stage. You know when like you have a dog and they're like 2 or 3 and they're like awkward and you're like, oh my god, I bought this weird dog, right? Like, and then when they get 4 or 5, they grow into their body and they're amazing dogs, right? We're kind of in that awkward dog phase right now. Do you think that's fair, Juice? We're getting used to all this new equipment. We haven't got it placed exactly where we want it. We got computers we're waiting on and stuff like that, but we're still trying to get some content out. And,
Yeah.
you know, we're putting up lineups, and that's what this is all about, right?
Yeah.
Putting out some lineups. So, but as things go forward, you're going to get to enjoy us a little bit more. We'll have some graphics, right?
Yep.
I've been promised graphics. We've got a little sound machine you probably can't see here next to me that I can be able to make noises when Juice says great things.
Or stupid. Either
Or
way.
stupid things. Probably more of the stupid things.
That's right.
We're gonna have to pick a noise that's like represents the Juice noise, right?
You can go online, pick any noise we can program.
we're
in.
gonna have fun with this.
Any noise. I definitely want like a train horn, like brr, brr, like yeah. So that got that in the works.
We'll probably need to get Juice one eventually too.
I think so. So keep watching. Hopefully we'll get more stuff and we'll be able to produce a better show. I'm watching myself in the left corner doing train noises. So it's great.
I'll say though, like you know, if you listen to our shows, man, we're going over the plays. Like we might not put them in a lineup, but I've noticed that our picks have been pretty spot on for the most part.
I would agree. I like
So-
I predicted Drummond hit 20 rebounds one night. He got over 20 rebounds.
Nice.
I tried to find. I literally called around to find someone to get a bet in for me. I couldn't do it.
I listen to a lot of other shows, and I will say obviously I'm biased, but
I like what we do versus the shows I listen to because
Yeah.
we could get on here and tell you who to play, but we're literally trying to build a lineup, stay within the parameters that DK set. I mean, and we're putting ourselves on the line by saying here's the guys we're going to play. So,
Right.
I like it. How do you want to do the show today, Juice? We got 9 games. You want to go through each game fairly quickly and break down kind of what our favorite plays in each game, or do you want to go through each position? I'll let you choose.
I think maybe what we should do, you're really good at this, I think, is go over the injuries
Okay.
for tonight.
Let's go over each game. Yeah, we'll go over the point spreads and the totals, and we'll go over the injuries. So, and we'll talk about favorite plays as we go. I think
Yeah.
and then we'll build a lineup at the end, and then we'll do a little bit of Super Bowl talk after we give some prop talk. So that's how the show's going to go today. We're going to build a lineup. We're going to talk some props for NBA, and then we'll talk about I think Jared wants to do a little breakdown of the Super Bowl.
I would love to do that.
I've got a lineup built, so we can talk about my lineup. Ray actually is having a competition for that. I missed a week, so I'm like, I'm not doing so well, so I could win this week, and that would be nice. Okay, let's start off. We got a good game starting off at 6 p.m. early tip-offs tonight. So guys, look for on Twitter at tell us the Twitter account, Julio.
At the pivot number 3.
Okay, Julio's doing a lot of content out there. He's putting the lineups up. He's putting up polls sometimes. Anyways, give us some support on Twitter too, so Julio knows that you guys are listening and paying attention. But anyway, enough begging you guys to like our show.
I don't mind begging. I'll beg as long as I
We're
need to.
now into we'll break down the slate. New Orleans at Indiana is a good game to start off with. On the Indiana side, I see very little injuries. LeVert remains out with the cancer issues. Warren's been out all year. He remains out. On the Pelicans side, again, pretty clean. Yeah, actually, there's no red other than some scrub named In Marshall. It's the 6th small forward on their team. So both teams are very healthy, Julio. What's the total and the spread on this one?
So the total on this one is 228.5. Pacers are favored by 1. So they're anticipating this to be a pretty high scoring game and close.
Okay. Which side of it you want to start off with? New Orleans. They're not the pace-up team they were last year, and they're not playing a pace-up team in this game. What is this a concerning game for you? Like, this isn't a game where I would be hammering Ingram, I don't think.
Well,
So it may be close.
Well, here's the thing: is Van Gundy came out a couple weeks ago, and I think he realized that he's got Zion Williamson, he's got Lonzo Ball, he's got Brandon Ingram. There's no reason they need to be a slow it down team.
Right.
He's got some young bucks, and so I think he said in the media that he wants this team to play faster.
Okay.
They were one of the fastest paced teams in the league last year.
Yeah, they were a team you could always count on if they were playing
Right.
much like Washington or Minnesota or Golden State that you could count on. There was a crazy total last night. The Dallas Golden State first half total. That was crazy. Anyway, anything? What are you seeing as plays that you might consider putting in the lineup?
I mean, I like a lot of guys in this game, like especially on the Pelicans side. I mean, so JJ Redick has essentially been almost taken out of the rotation. I think they're looking to trade him. So that's kind of opening up some more minutes for Josh Hart and Nikhil Alexander-Walker,
Okay.
who are kind of lower priced. So like Hart's 4.5K, Walker's 4.4. Hart's small forward, Alexander Walker's point guard, shooting guard eligible. So they're in play. Lonzo Ball's price tag's starting to creep up a little bit. He's almost at 6K, but I still think it's a fairly reasonable price tag. Zion and Ingram are both like 8-1 and 8K respectively. I think those are pretty fair price tags for them.
I was going to say they're definitely not overpriced.
No.
And Indiana plays good D, right? What was you said the total, but remind me the total.
228.5.
That seems a little high for these two.
I mean,
but-
it's a healthy game total. So
Right.
I think if you like this game, I mean, you know, there's parts you could actually stack it up pretty well.
Indiana on their side, Sabonis is coming off a very big game the other day. I
I feel like
noticed.
he's come off a big game every game. He's
Yeah.
been so consistent this year.
He truly is. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA. He's only 8,600. That's not terribly expensive Sabonis.
He's been in the nines recently.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know Zion Williamson's a good player, but he's not someone defensively I'm scared of at this point in his career. So if Sabonis is going to get 37 minutes, 38 minutes a game, he can definitely pay off that price tag. Malcolm Brogdon was in the mid 8s to high 8s salary wise, and now down to 8 flat. I don't mind him either. I think Lonzo Ball is underrated defensively. I think he's a pretty decent defensive guard.
I
So,
like Lonzo Ball. I think he's just a good player.
yeah, I think his dad has done more harm than good for his
In
career.
fact, we played
yeah.
we played ball at 5,000 the other night, and he paid off real well.
Yeah.
$5,900 ball isn't. Before we move over to Indiana, Eric Bledsoe at 5,800 caught my eye too. He's had some good games. He could easily pay off that price, but with everybody healthy again, it might be tough, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I like this game. It's the very first game of the slate. It's six. It's you know, one of the 6 o'clock games of the 2. I don't like targeting these games typically because there's been so much news in the NBA this year. It's like I kind of want to wait and find out what's going to happen in the later games. So I tend to not play guys on these slates.
Right.
You know, because there could be like some huge news. Like last night, for example, Ben Simmons out of nowhere sits.
Right.
And we talked about that even on the show. Like I have a feeling like Ben or
Beeb had 23 points in one quarter last night. That's crazy. But
Wow.
yeah. But-
Okay. Anything else? Let's back to the Indiana side. We said that Sabonis is not too expensive to play. I definitely wouldn't. I think this is a good matchup for him.
Yeah.
Adams, is a good rebounder but he's not the best defender. Anyway, he could eat this match.
Well, I don't even think that Adams is going to be on Sabonis. I think it's going to be Miles Turner
You
and
think-
Adams.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be. That's why I say Zion and Sabonis is probably going to be the matchup.
And we're definitely not worried about Zion.
No. So I mean, I like Sabonis'
This is
matchup.
This is a good game.
Yeah, it is a good game.
What about Brogdon? I mean, I think Indiana has two of the most consistent fantasy players in the game. In Brogdon
They do.
and
They do.
Sabonis.
I mean, I really like this game. Here's the problem is there's some really, like, as of right now, there's a lot of good value in the Oklahoma City Thunder game because Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's out again.
Oh wow. No SGA.
So, our boy Maladon, Hamidou Diallo, they take up guard spots for the most part. So,
probably be paying up in the bigs tonight.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just like, we'll get to that game, but there's some value there.
I'll be honest. This is my first look at the slate, so I don't know what I see the two games that are next on my list, but I don't even know what's beyond that. So,
I mean, we got the Raptors against the Nets, who are the worst defensive team
wow.
right now. The Wizards are on the slate. The Timberwolves are on the slate.
Oh wow. Okay.
So there's a lot of teams
This
we like
probably
to
won't-
attack defensively.
This game probably won't. I wouldn't play a ton in this game.
There's good plays, and we might play some of these guys, but I just think there's going to be a lot of plays that we can choose from tonight.
Well, let's mix. There's two 6 p.m. Central Time
Yeah.
tip-offs. The next one is Chicago at Orlando. As we've said, as you've mentioned on our podcast previously, Chicago is playing the type of game where they want to run up and down the floor. They're looking for high totals. They have put up some high totals this year. They've given up some great fantasy gold to some players. They don't play a whole lot of. Their stars aren't big defensively stars. Let's injury real quick. I don't see much on the Chicago side. Porter Jr. is out. He's been out for a few games. Carter Jr. remains out. He's been out a few games. Orlando's side, I see.
Porter Jr. is day to day. He might. Well, it says he won't play against the
They got
Magic.
the flat out.
Got
on
it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. You're right.
Carter Williams is out. He's been out. That's about it. Oh, wait, nope, didn't go far enough. Gordon is out. He's been out. Isaac's been out. Manu's been out. Wow. So this is basically the Vuk show here for Orlando, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say Vucevic is. You can attack the Chicago bigs.
I even kind of like if he was. God, he's a little expensive, but Anthony.
Yeah, Cole Anthony.
Starting at point guard in this
Yep.
game, I feel like the point guard's going to get a lot of assists. 5,700 seems a little cheap. I would think he would be coming in around 4,700.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in the fives for a while now. I think a guy you could probably look at also that you didn't mention is Evan Fournier.
Yeah, we don't play a lot of Fournier because
He's handling the ball a lot more now that Gordon's out and that they're kind of decimated at the guard spot. He's certainly someone you can look at.
if he's playing more point guard than Fournier, if he can get there more ways than he used to. It used
Yeah.
to be, okay, he's shooting threes. Is he hitting threes? Okay, yes, great. If not, then you hate life.
Another guy that's kind of cheaper is Dwayne, and I love his last name because I just love Bacon so much. And Dwayne Bacon, man, I mean he's been kind of lighting it up.
Yeah.
So he's 4K. I feel like Orlando, if I ever need a cheap punt play, I can always go to like James Ennis or a Gary Clark, and now even a Dwayne Bacon. They've got these guys that are really like they get starting roles, and they're safe. They just kind of get there. They don't give you a ceiling, but they're 18 to 21 points, and they make your lineups kind of work.
Yeah.
So, but Vucevic is by far my favorite play on this side. Absolutely love him.
It's not terribly expensive.
No, he's great. 8,500 is a really good price tag for Vucevic, and honestly, there's just not a lot of good centers on the slate tonight. I mean, we'll get to Andre Drummond. He's kind of in a bad spot tonight. Sabonis, you can play power forward center. Bam Adebayo, we do like going against Washington, but he's kind of pricey. So there's just not like huge names at the center spot. So I would say Vucevic is probably, if you're going to spend up at center, he'd probably be my favorite guy.
You like him more than Sabonis? Because they're a $100 difference.
Yeah, that's a tough call. I think I would.
Good question.
I think I would probably lean Vucevic just because he's going up against
The
Chicago.
matchup just seems like
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Plus, the percentage of the ball hitting his hands has got to be higher, even though Sabonis's will be pretty high too.
Yeah. I like them both. It is a good question. I would probably lean Vucevic. But here's the thing. Vucevic will probably wind up being higher owned. So Sabonis would be a good like sort of pivot from
Good leverage.
yeah,
Play.
yeah.
Okay, what about the Chicago side? Again, we said not a whole lot of injuries. Levine is 8,400.
A week ago he was 9,500.
He's had some bad games.
Yeah.
He keeps hitting 24. His over-under price number is usually 24.5, and he keeps hitting 24. Marketing has had some great
I wonder how you know that.
just a little hunch. Marketing, on the other hand, has been blowing his numbers out of the water.
He's been doing really, really well.
He's going to become elite if he keeps up the games he's been playing recently. I mean, we're going to be begging to have him at 6,800.
Yeah, I mean,
not the greatest matchup. This isn't a pace-up match. Even though they're pace-up, this isn't a pace-up matchup for Chicago.
I'll tell you, I think my favorite play in Chicago tonight, I usually don't play this guy often, but Kobe White is down to 6K flat.
Right.
And against the Orlando backcourt, I just don't see anyone that can like really keep up with him. So
Yeah, he's
I
going
feel-
up against a rookie, basically.
yeah, I mean, I feel like he really is in a good spot to, if his shot's falling, he could have one of those Kobe White ceiling games.
Yeah.
And at 6K, I'm willing to take a risk on that.
Patrick Williams seems to be getting a lot of minutes at 4,000.
Yeah.
He's not a point per minute guy by any chance. It's hard for them with White and Levine and Markin and just throwing it up right now.
Usage isn't really there with Williams. So
What about, we said 8,400 Levine. I don't think this is his spot. Do you?
no,
Yeah.
not on this slate.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay $6,200 for Thaddeus Young.
No.
It's the year 2021. It's the year of our Lord. I'm not going to pay $6,200 for Thaddeus Young.
I like it.
You know?
Let's move on. 6:30. There's a few tip-offs at 6:30. Two of them. I love how the NBA staggers their tip-offs.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's cool.
Toronto at Brooklyn obviously could be possibly nationally televised.
Yes.
Okay.
This
Just
is a
guess
juicy,
here.
juicy game.
Everybody likes to score on these teams. Looking at the injuries, it looks like we are clean as clean gets on the Brooklyn side. Like, it is just clean, other than Dinwiddie, who's been out for the season. On the Toronto side, also very clean. McCaw remains out. And OG, right?
Yeah.
OG has not seen much action in 2021.
Not recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we heard Juice say it's juicy. I wish I had the button.
Yep.
It'd be like,
Juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We're creating while we're creating here. So, yes, I'll need a juicy button if we can.
I can
We
just
need like a
simulate
juicy
the
fruit
sounds
button or
today.
something.
Yes, I
yeah.
want it just to be you saying it just like that, right? I don't need anything else other than you going juicy.
Juicy.
What do you think the total is on this game?
It's juicy.
It is juicy. It is.
I'm going to go 242.
240.
Man, it's almost like I bet on things or something.
So 240. The Nets are at home. They're favored by 4.5. Fred Van Elite had himself a game the other night.
Yeah, how popular are they're going to be like, wow, we can get Van Fleet at 7,900? I mean, he just came off 50.
He had 77 DraftKings points. the other night.
77.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was like out of nowhere.
He had a career night.
It was literally like out of nowhere. Like, I mean, seriously, if you predicted that coming and you got a little Van Fleet action, we didn't play.
We did.
We
We
did
did
play.
predict him, and we did predict that.
We played him in the show lineup, right?
So I'm glad we're talking about this because we talked about Van Fleet and we talked about Lowry that slate.
right.
You liked Lowry, I liked Van Fleet.
Oh, wow.
But here's the deal.
Didn't see that coming.
No, we were both right. They both had big games.
I think I probably liked Lowry and Van Fleet. But,
but my point is they both exploded. I mean, Lowry had I think 50
I
something
do remember
DraftKings
that.
points.
Yes, that's the one we played in the lineup, not Van Fleet. We played Lowry in the lineup.
But they both did well. They
yes.
both did well. You can
both
go
in
back
great
to,
matchups.
Yeah, you can go right back to these guys again tonight.
Yeah.
I mean that's the thing.
You can't get better than Nets D. Nets are going to outscore you, so they may play terrible D. They'll still outscore you, but they definitely don't mind that you show off while they're showing off.
So
right?
since the Harden trade, they have the best offensive efficiency in the history of the NBA.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? I
Wow.
mean, they only have 3 top 50 probably of all time.
They also are the worst defensive team since the Harden trade in the NBA.
That makes
we have
sense.
talked about this, okay? Irvin doesn't have time for defense, right? Harden doesn't have any time
No,
for defense.
no.
They got, I mean,
It's hero ball across the board is
I
what
mean,
it is.
and why would you care about defense when you're each going to just put up 35 each? I mean, and when you have Joe Harris, by the way, that can make 8 to 9 3-pointers in a game, no big deal. Like, that team's tough.
Dude, I was watching them play the Clippers the other night.
I started off hating the Nets, and I'm starting
to like them.
only because we are bored people and we watch these games. And if you're watching these games, you definitely want to be watching the Nets, right?
I mean, so I was watching the game the other night, and the Nets get down like 14-2 or something to the Clippers.
Yes.
And they call a timeout, and I look over and like it's either Kevin Durant or James Harden's like walking off. We're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, of course
And
they're
then
fine.
in a minute, it's like 15-14 the Nets. It's crazy. I mean, like they're just so skilled offensively right now. And you throw Joe Harris in there,
That's
dude.
like I
He's
said,
like the
it's-
perfect complement to those guys.
Right. It really is. It's a good team. It's a people were concerned about how they're going to jail, but
I was one of them.
yeah, even my dad last Sunday said they're just going to outscore everybody.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, Kyrie's playing great. Harden's playing great. Harden's leading the league in assists.
Wow.
Harris is
Two straight triple doubles for Harden.
Yeah, Durant is playing great. He is hitting about 33, 34 pretty easily, not playing a lot of minutes. So who do we like, though?
Who do you think's guarding Harden tonight?
Man, I would think it's Van Fleet.
Okay. And Van Fleet, he's pretty good.
He is good. And then I would think it's Lowry and Irving. And then I would think it's Siakam and Harden. Or I'm sorry, Siakam and Durant.
Okay.
Good matchups. I mean,
Good
this is one of the
matchups,
few
yeah.
teams that actually match up decently with them.
I would give the edge defensively to the Toronto guys, but I don't know what's happened to Toronto. They're just not that great defensively this year. They're giving up a lot of points, and historically they've been known as being a great defense. So I don't know if like losing Serge Ibaka and Gasol maybe
I think that might
did
be a big
something
part
to
of it.
him.
Yeah.
But they're just not the same team defensively this year. So
And I mean, and there's truly a trend in the NBA right now to not care about defense because
Right.
the totals are definitely up.
scoring's up
Yeah,
across the board.
for sure.
Yeah, I
I've
agree.
seen more 140s and 150s than I've seen ever.
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple games last couple slates like 280s, 290s.
Didn't
like-
Golden State score 90 in the first half last
I mean,
night?
they finished with 146.
By the way, sneaky good team, Golden State.
Yeah.
Anybody who thinks Golden State is a gimme this year is just not true.
Kerr's definitely doing probably his best work as a coach.
And I
this
mean,
year.
when they get Wiseman back, and they're gonna, I mean, next year's could be a real big year for them.
Yeah.
we'll see.
I agree.
Okay, what about what about on? I mean, we just got stars galore in this game.
I mean, so Brooklyn, we'll make it really short because you don't need to go too in depth.
Right.
I think Harden is okay. He's 10.6K. I don't love that price tag. Kevin Durant is fairly cheap at 9.6 for him. So I like him. Kyrie is 9.1. I think if I were to rank them, it'd be Kyrie, KD, and Harden tonight. But you couldn't go wrong playing either one of them. On the Toronto side,
You said Harden, KD, Irving.
I think Irving,
I missed that completely.
KD, and then Harden, if I were to
Okay.
rank them. But I like them all. Toronto, I think Van Fleet is going to get a little bit more ownership tonight because of the last game.
I would guess that's probably the case.
People are going to FOMO into Van Fleet for sure after.
Yeah. So I think my favorite play tonight is Lowry.
Okay.
I mean, and I think he's got probably the best one-on-one matchup against Kyrie Irving's stellar defense. So I mean, I think from an ownership perspective, I think Lowry probably would be the best play. Van Fleet second, and maybe Siakam third. They're all really pretty fairly priced for this type of matchup.
I agree. Even the Buck or the Nets. Yeah, Nets players are even priced fairly. For
Van Fleet is actually $100 more expensive than Lowry today.
Harden
Yeah.
might be.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Here's a guy that's sneaky. He's not sneaky to us, but I think he's going to be sneaky tonight. Is Chris Boucher.
He loves Chris Boucher.
He's 4,500. Okay.
He's gone just down. Weren't there like 8,500 crispy
He was
fish?
up there. Okay, he's kind of fallen out of the rotation, but there is a really good possibility if they throw Kevin Durant at the center spot that they throw Chris Boucher in there to guard him.
Okay.
And so I think this might be an opportunity for him to get minutes. And at 4,500, I'm willing to go there.
I like it.
I locked it in. I like it.
I like
So-
Lowry better than Boucher.
I mean, yeah, I think just point per dollar. But I mean, I'm talking about if you want to just get a little bit different. Chris Boucher is definitely someone that you could throw in this game.
I like it. Okay, we're moving on to the second on the 6:30 staggered slate. We probably need to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll
here.
pick it up.
Hi, Jax. We've got Milwaukee at Cleveland. On the Cleveland side, injury, Sexton is questionable. Wow. That's a big deal for
That's big.
I mean, he gets a lot of. Did I see that they're not starting him? Some games.
No, I haven't seen that.
Did I miss that? Did he maybe just get fouled? Sorry, my dogs are caught in my cords.
You might have gotten in foul trouble. Real quick, this game's got a 226
Sorry, guys.
spread.
I got a
No.
Yorkie caught in the cords. He's literally roped up in the.
Oh, nice, Jackson.
Bye, guy.
Yeah, so it's 226 total, and the Cavs are getting 10.5. I think this game's going to blow out.
You do?
Yeah, so
I mean, if they don't have Sexton, then I mean,
especially if they don't have Sexton. And so this is almost like one of those games I think we can almost like fade.
we could fade Milwaukee.
Because I'm not going to play Giannis at what is he at, like 10 something, 10-8, if he's not going to get his full run. So I'm basically, and Drummond, I love Drummond. However, Brooke Lopez plays for the Bucks, and he's not a traditional back to the basket center.
No.
He likes shooting 3-pointers.
I could see Drummond not getting a lot of minutes this game. This
I
could
could
be,
too.
This could be an Allen game.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely have lineups where they put Drummond in. They definitely have Allen.
Yeah,
lineups.
I think the way that the Milwaukee Bigs play, I think it's going to take Drummond out of this game.
Yeah.
So I hope the price tag goes down further. The next game, I'll probably be all in on
But
Drummond.
back on Drummond, man,
Yeah.
when he plays and just is into it, he's fun to watch.
Absolutely.
So we talked quickly. We're going to just fire over this game that Milwaukee looks like they're probably going to blow out. We don't
Yeah.
have faith that everybody. We can't pay 10-8 if we don't know we're going to get Giannis for the full game.
Right.
Let's move on to what may be the best team in the NBA that absolutely nobody talks about, but may be the best NBA team. Period. The Utah Jazz are at the Charlotte Hornets, 7 p.m. Central tip-off time. There are a number of 3 7 p.m. tip-off time games. Injury-wise, on the Charlotte side, I see questionable for Rozier, which could open some things up. P.J. Washington out.
Yeah.
On the Utah side, who they're just running through people, they seem to be fairly healthy. I don't see any concern on anybody we'd be considering. What's the team total and spread on this one?
So this one is a 223 total, and the Hornets are getting 8 points at home.
By the way, Utah ended up killing Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
We said if Trae Young didn't play and
That-
I didn't bet it, and I knew Trae wasn't playing. So
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I just hate money. This could be another blowout game. Utah has potential to blow out everybody. Let's just be honest.
They're just playing really well.
They really are.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I kind of want to fade this game too.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why I kind of spent more time on the other games because there's a couple games I just don't want any part of, and this is kind of one of
we
them.
played a lot of Hayward. Not the best matchup for Hayward.
No,
Yeah.
I mean it's not a match. It's not a good matchup for any of the Hornets.
Conley is overpriced tonight.
Yeah,
You could
you could throw a dart at Mitchell. Mitchell's someone that I would
7,700 is
Yeah,
not
I
terrible.
think he's but again, if it blows out,
Yeah. Let's move on. I like it. The next game's kind of got to have a little sexiness in it. We've got Washington at Miami, 7 Central, the second of the 7 p.m. games.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this game.
The next 2 games are actually Minnesota at OKC is
Yeah.
going to be where we find a lot of love, I think.
who do you want? Which side do you want to talk about first? I'll give you the total.
Let me go real
Oh,
quick.
sorry.
Give you some injury updates. Washington at Miami today, 7 p.m. Central. On the Miami side, Dragic is questionable. Vincent, who I have no idea who he is questionable. Bradley remains out. Butler is back. No red on Butler. and the rest of everybody else seems good to go. I don't know what's going on with my computer. Do you see this, Jared?
Random black box up. Yeah, I don't know. Just no idea what that is.
It doesn't seem to want to go away. Anyway, we'll keep going. That's really weird. Washington side, we are clean, other than Nito remains out. I don't think he's played all year. And Thomas Bryant, who's been out for most of the year, is out. Julio, you talk. I'm going to try to fix my computer.
You know, one of
here.
my biggest pet peeves, you said Neto is like is white dudes trying to have like a Castilian accent when they're saying Spanish names. Like they'll not say the S, you know, and it's like, dude, you're from Tulsa. You're not like you're not from Madrid, okay? Like anyway, because like they call Raul Neto. It's spelled Raul. They call him Raul Neto, and maybe that's how you pronounce it. But it's like, dude. Anyway, just a little pet peeve. So this one's a 230 spread. The Heat are 6.5 point favorites. I mean, Russell Westbrook should be back. I like this game quite a bit. I think if I were to let's start on the Miami side. So Bam Adebayo, I don't know who the heck is going to stop him for the Washington side. Only problem is he's 9.2K. That's kind of pricey in my opinion. Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Buckets as we call him, he's my favorite play on the Miami side. He's, I think, fairly priced at 8,300. Since he's come back from the COVID stuff, he has just been so consistent and so good and flashing triple-double upside. So I really like him. I think he's going to play a lot of minutes because he's probably going to be guarding Bradley Beal. They might even throw him on Russell Westbrook a little bit.
Do you think Bradley Beal will have a good game in this one?
You know, it's funny because last time these teams just played, and I was kind of down on Bradley Beal, and he got there. So I just think Bradley Beal's at that spot in his career. He can just score on anybody. It really doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter.
You know, so I think he's sort of matchup proof at this point.
Yeah, they played on February 3rd. He got 38 minutes, 51 points.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's $200 cheaper today.
Yeah, I mean you'll take that.
Yeah.
So, I mean he's certainly in play. I think if I remember though, Westbrook wasn't in that game. I believe.
I can check.
Westbrook's played most of the games here.
No, on the
yeah, he wasn't in
back-to-backs,
that one.
Yeah, he was back-to-backs. He hasn't been playing. So that kind of like tempers my enthusiasm a little bit for Beal, just because Westbrook commands a lot of usage as well.
What was the team total on this? I was messing with my computer.
The team total on this, it's 230 over under.
Okay.
And the Heat are favored by 6.5.
Did we like anything on the Miami side?
Butler. I like Butler. Kelly Olynyk's been really solid for first price tag at 4,800. Those might be the only two guys I really play. Goran Dragic, if he gets good minutes, he could do well at 5,700. But I think they're really being cautious with him and his minutes because he's getting a little bit older. So I would just say Butler. If you want to spend up on Bam, be a little bit different, you can go there. I wouldn't knock you for it. But those are the main plays. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
On the Washington side, we talked about Bradley Beal. He's 9,500.
I love Westbrook at 9. If you're going to play either one of them, I'm playing Westbrook.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I kind of. So, would you rather play Bradley Beal at 9,500 or let's say Kevin Durant at 9,700?
Westbrook at 9,000, I think.
Okay. Would you rather play Westbrook at 9,000 or Kyrie at 91?
Tonight?
Yeah.
Probably Kyrie at 91.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I kind of am with you on that as well. I think Russell is in a good spot.
Only because of the matchup. Miami slows it down a lot. When
They do.
I mean,
They do.
Miami's capable of scoring 85 points. You know, like they don't mind a 87-85 game, whereas that Brooklyn game, good luck slowing that thing down.
Yeah. I mean, the rest of the Wizards roster, they're kind of healthy, so
yeah,
it's kind of throwing darts at who you think is going to be.
Hatchmar's coming on a little bit.
Yeah.
And just watching the games, he's getting a little more confidence and playing with some confidence. He could, by the end of the season, he could be putting up some good totals.
I feel like I should like this game more. I just kind
I
of
really
don't.
do like the Israeli guy too.
Avdia?
Yeah.
He's 3,900 now, though. So
I know.
he's getting
Well,
up there a little.
he's starting, but he's not playing a lot.
Yeah.
So
He's definitely worth the dart throw. But,
they bring Ish in right away. Ish is playing pretty good.
yeah,
but it's just hard to play. Like you said, you're either playing Westbrook or Beal, and
he broke a lot of hearts last game.
with
Ish.
9 games and all the guys paid up for it, it's going to be tough for
Yeah.
this to be the pay up spots.
I feel like I should like this game more. I just don't.
I got you.
So
Let's move over to the game that you mentioned you do like, Minnesota, Oklahoma City.
Yep.
It's the third of the 7 p.m. tip-offs. And on the Thunder side, you mentioned that SGA is out. Hill is out. Dort is out. Oh, wow. Okay, so Ariza is questionable. So we got some injuries. You mentioned that. On the Timberwolves side, they're always a walking questionable. Russell is always questionable. Man, Beasley has been playing well. Minnesota's the type of team they could beat up on Oklahoma City. They're the type of team when they start playing good with Beasley and Russell and Edwards, and they can actually be decent.
but Russell's questionable.
Russell is questionable. Towns is out. Reed is questionable. We've seen that scenario. Whoever the Oklahoma City big man is, that's good news for them because Davis is terrible. So I watched that game the other night when we predicted that Drummond would just kill Minnesota, and he did. Anyway, what side do you want to start off? Let's start with Minnesota side.
Okay, so it's real quick. It's a 220 spread.
Wow.
Pick 'em.
I would have thought that would have been higher.
Pick 'em.
I guess it's because some of the scores are
The
out.
the Thunder kind of slowed the game down a little bit this year.
Yeah, and a lot of the Thunder scoring is out. I mean, we're taking 22 points off the Thunder team that isn't easily made up for.
We're taking more than that. I mean,
Oh, with Dort, I didn't
Yeah.
count Dort. Yeah. Anyway, who do we? You said there was some chance for some value on the Oklahoma.
I mean, you could arguably play 4 or 5 Thunder tonight in your lineup.
wow, never gonna do it. But I just don't believe in playing bad teams, even though they're in big spots. I do like Meladon tonight with SGA out though. He could just be the whole. He could be the whole show.
Here's
tonight.
the thing, man. Minnesota might be the worst team in the league right now.
That's true. I do like Baisley tonight too at 5,700.
Okay.
What about Diallo?
Okay.
I always like me some Diallo
Okay.
at 5,200.
So there's 3.
I do like those 3.
Okay.
Those 3 are going to be running up and down the court like a pickup game, right? This is the pickup game of the
Isn't
night.
Diallo kind of? I mean, not saying that this will be a blowout, but isn't he
is
the guy that plays no matter
blowout
what
play.
happens?
Yes, no matter what happens.
And if he's got more, he got 33 minutes on the 3rd of February. Got 31 points. He is up $700 compared to that salary.
But he's going to be up a lot of minutes tonight. So
Yeah.
I think Julio, by the face he's making, I think he's agreeing with everything you said, Jared.
I am. I mean, that's why I'm saying there's about 4 plays in this game that you could legitimately put into your lineups tonight. And you mentioned all of them. Like another guy, Justin Jackson, is $3,200. They have him projected for 29 minutes tonight. 29 minutes,
Wait, how much is it, you
$3,200. I'm sorry.
How much is he?
Look at 3,200.
Jared. Jared heard 3,200.
Yeah, it's like, I gotta lock that in right now.
We're going to shove him at
I mean,
everything.
if he
Okay,
gets,
so we're going to play
if he gets-
Irving. We're going to play
if he gets
Sabonis.
29 minutes, dude, like it's going to be hard for him not to pay off his price tag.
It's like
I
your-
would. Okay, so if that guy is
Kenrich Williams is another guy. He's projected for 24 minutes, $3,500.
Okay.
Dude, you can make a case for almost every single one of these guys.
Even how Al Horford.
Average Al
I'm
could
not
even get in
playing
the
Al.
lineup.
We're not playing Al. Quit. The rest of them I agree with, but we're not playing Al.
I would agree there. I mean,
I like Maladone. Literally could take over the game. Baisley could literally take over the game. Diallo, when he's in, will definitely not mind firing up shots tonight. I mean, the guys that are playing have no concern. Like they don't have to look at the corner of their eye and make sure SGA is okay with him shooting, right? Like
Lance, I may drive to Oklahoma City to go try and watch this game.
you could probably play in this game.
I mean, I probably could. And I mean, I would be probably the 6th best player.
If they saw you warm up, they might actually let you play. Like
I mean, I'm saying like
they're like, hey, we were looking for a Nicaraguan 3-point shooter specialist. Like you just happen to fill that role.
so I'm looking at this and I see
God, You couldn't pay me enough money to go to this game.
I'm seeing nine. I'm seeing 9 active players on the Thunder side.
Wow.
So
And we haven't even talked about the Minnesota side, which
No.
is also, if Russell sits, wide open because $4,600 Rubio. Why is McLaughlin not playing?
he might have gotten even sent down to the G League, man.
Shut up. Why?
He's
mean-
kind of fallen out of the rotation. I don't even see him listed here.
Does the coach not watch the same thing we watch when he plays?
Apparently not. Apparently
Have
he's
you
not
ever
as
watched
good an
McLaughlin play?
evaluator of talent as you and I are.
He really is good. He will be good at some point.
He will be good. He will be good.
I wouldn't put him at 3,000 though. Beasley has been blowing up the. So we're switching over to Minnesota. Thunder, I agree with you, is a pot of
Do
gold.
we want to rank the Thunder?
Let's rank them. I'll give you my rankings real
Okay.
quick. Melodone 1,
Okay.
Baisley 2, because I think those are the most. Diallo 3. And then your scrub that you claim is going to get 28 minutes at 3,200.
Justin Jackson.
Yeah, we'll play him. We'll rank him 4. We might rank him 1 because he's the one most likely to be in the lineup.
$3,200,
Yeah,
30
$3,200.
minutes.
And you're
You need 12
breathing.
points.
Yeah, get it there. Well, technically 15. But
15 points.
Yeah, 16 would be nice. He'll get there. He's going to get a 16.
He's going to get there, guys.
Yeah.
He's going to get there. I guarantee you, JJ. That's why I want to drive to this game because I might be playing 5 Thunder in my lineup tonight. I want to see
You
these
got a
guys.
lot on it. I'll go to this game if you put 4 figures into it, and we can go root it out. That's the only way you're going to get me there.
But no, I tend to agree with your rankings. It might be I might change 1 or 2 guys, but I mean I think like the top 4 we're pretty much in agreement. We're splitting hairs.
Melodon looked great the game where everybody
Yeah.
was out, and he got the ball in his hand a lot. So I've kind of been the only one who talked about the T-Wolf side. What do you like on the T-Wolf side? Anthony Edwards is playing better.
I kind of hope D'Angelo Russell sits.
If D'Angelo Russell sits, Beasley's a must player.
But dude, D'Angelo Russell's 6,900. I mean, this is a dude that can get you like 50 DraftKings points.
Beasley's 6,400. Have you watched what he's been doing? Give him the Beasley numbers for the last few games.
Beasley.
I'm gonna look him up.
Both of you. I want you both to
He's
look.
typically a guy I don't play, and maybe that's why I lose.
He's been averaging between 30, 40 points the last 7 games off 30 minutes.
I mean, you hate 40 points out of 6,800. Well, actually, maybe that pays, right? Anyway, he's playing well. He keeps scoring lots of real points. Let's just say that. Anthony Edwards has played better, too.
He's got 42, 23, 33, and 31. I mean,
That's not paying off. Okay, point proven.
he's fine.
There's I'm not wasting 64.
If you want to play him in cash, go for it.
His problem is he doesn't get any rebounds, any assists. So.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Tonight at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Central Time, Detroit will be tipping off at Phoenix, second to last game on the slate here. Detroit has very few injuries, if any. Wayne Ellington is questionable, and Okafor is out. On Phoenix's side, we have Payne out. Booker's back. Crowder is questionable. Our boy, pronounce this for me, Saric is out, remains out. He's been out. Sarich, okay.
Sir Rick.
It was Saric. I'm not 100% sure that's not his name, but
Dario Saric is now
Saric.
English royalty here.
it is Saric is how I
or
pronounce it.
nobility.
I'm not 100% sure that's not his last name pronounced exactly correct. Okay. Detroit side, no injuries. Phoenix side, no injuries. Number 1 slowdown game of the day, right? What's the team?
I'm glad you spent a lot of time on the injury report because I really absolutely do not want to talk about this game at all.
So just tell them what the team total is. That's why we don't want to talk
So
about
it's 214. Suns are favored by 7.5. Real quick, there might be 1 or 2 plays.
There's not 1 or 2
There
plays.
might be. So I think Jeremy Grant is like sub 7K.
Because he's playing terrible lately. He went on like a 3-game slump here.
I disagree. He had 44 last game.
I shouldn't even talk. I don't even open my mouth. I'm like 0 for 3. I'm like,
I mean, before that he had been struggling, but last game against Utah,
Let's just
he
say
dropped
this.
44.
last time I bet money on him to go over, he didn't go over. So
That's right.
that's my struggle. That's where I determine struggle level
Yeah.
A
from.
little
So-
salty towards Grant.
well, he's struggling because
He has been
he ain't getting the total I need. So
He's 7K. He's
That's actually a fairly priced.
That's a good price for him. That's about it, dude. I mean,
What about Chris Paul? Chris Paul's been playing pretty good.
he has is did you
7,900
say
for
anything about Booker? Is he back?
Booker
He
is back. So that's going to
No
change
thanks.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Not. I would.
What
Consider
about Aiden
Paul
in
around
this match?
7.
7,100 Aiden's not terrible.
Aiden is not a bad matchup.
Yeah.
At all. That's 7,100. I like that.
He's probably my favorite play out of this game.
Yeah.
Actually, Grant and Ayton are equally good, I think. Okay, well, let's move on to the late night hammer. There's one late night hammer tonight, 9 p.m. Central Time tip off. That's Boston at the Clippers. On the Clippers side, we have injuries right off the bat. Beverly is out. Scrub remains out.
That's your guy. When he comes back, we got to play him.
I want to get you a Scrub jersey. Celtics are playing better, by the way. They just ran up Sacramento some points. Pritchard's questionable. Smart remains out. Ooh, Brown is questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Brown's questionable. It might be the Tatum show at 8,900.
That's right.
Anyway, that's the scenario. Who do you want to start with?
Let's go Boston side. So obviously the big news is Jaylen Brown if he starts or sits.
Right.
If he starts, man, 7,600.
That's cheap Jaylen
That's
Brown.
good price on Jaylen Brown.
Clippers are not the defense you want to run into all the time, though.
No, but you can score on them.
Yeah.
You know, I think Brown and Tatum are they're at that point where they're kind of almost matchup proof. Tatum, if Brown sits, Tatum's going to have to do a little bit of everything. You know,
Yeah,
so
I like that.
8,900.
He had a great game the other night. Both him and Brown had great games against Sacramento. But Sacramento looks like the Minnesota of the West right now. That everybody's kind of having great games.
Yeah.
when they play them. So
Kemba, if Brown sits, I know you're not a big Kemba fan, but he got over 30 minutes.
why is anybody a big Kimba fan? Are there big Kimba fans out there? Like,
He could be a future guest on the show.
so if we want to talk, I mean, you guys are kind of gathering Matt's all not like we got Carmelo Anthony at the small forward. We got Kimba at the point guard.
Who did well last night, by the way.
Of course he did well. They didn't have Lillard. Everybody did well. Did you see Gary Trent Jr. did well?
He Simons.
On the other hand,
Simons did not do well, but
no, he's not. I think I agree with you. He's just not an alpha. He doesn't like the lead role.
I agree with that. Here's the problem though that Simons had. They came out before the game and said he was limited to 20 minutes.
Simons was?
Yeah, so
Oh,
he didn't get a
sorry.
lot of run. That had a lot to do with
If
it.
I knew that, I would have fired Gary Trent Jr.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Gary Trent just is never scared to shoot.
Did you anticipate the Blazers blowing the Sixers out last night?
No, I didn't anticipate that.
Okay, I mean, I don't know who the F did.
And they didn't have Lillard either last night.
Yeah.
And they
no,
blew him out.
they didn't have Lillard or McCollum.
Yeah,
and
and they blew the Sixers out. When it
Wow.
was kind of supposed to be the other way.
Gary Trent Jr. is playing well.
Yeah.
This game doesn't excite me. I'm just going to say it. Tatum. If Brown's out at 8,900, but again, we're up against a lot of choices in the upper echelon that you're going to have to pick over.
On the other side,
But I could fit Tatum in a lineup.
on the other side, Kawhi and George are very favorably priced. For my,
You're kind of a Kawhi Leonard whisperer. You predicted big things out of him the last time we.
yeah, against the Nets,
Yeah, he killed.
he crushed. I mean, he could have scored like 80 DraftKings points that night. He kind of took the gas off a little bit, but
Leonard. There's a lot of choices at this 9,000
I just
level.
the
right?
thing about this
Like
is like
everybody's 9,000.
yeah, like I get fixated on sub 9K for Kawhi and Paul George. That's my issue. Marcus Morris at 4,100, I could look at.
I always say, well, you can count on, where you're at with your lineup if you're playing a Morris brother. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Your lineup, you're just trying to get somebody cranked in there.
Nick Batum at sub 5K, I don't mind him either.
Stop. We're playing the Thunder trash way before we're playing these guys.
I probably agree. So you're kind of coming around on the Thunder.
Yes, I'm coming around that they're
Okay.
playing Minnesota and there's
9 of them active.
yes,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Well, 10 when I show up to the building.
yes we got
It's guaranteed minutes in the OKC tonight.
if you would just go to the game and wear a pivot
What
t-shirt
would
and
you
get-
do? What would you do if I like just checked in and just jacked up a
You're
3?
just
I would
checking.
check DraftKings to see if they listed you
Yeah,
yet.
it's like, hey, can they go under 3? Can you be less than 3?
I'd probably pull a hammy within the first 5 seconds of that. All All right, you want to build the lineup or?
Yeah, let's build it. I put 3 players in from what you said, and we'll see what you think. I put Kobe White, I put Vooks, and I put Lowry in the lineup. But I'm going to clear it, and you're going to tell me what to do.
I'll tell you guys what I built based off what we said.
Okay.
Lowry at point guard, Diallo at SG, Bacon shooting forward, Sabonis power forward, Boucher at
Boucher.
center or Boucher.
Bobby
I'm
Boucher.
glad he's as bad at
The water
Yep.
names as I am.
Irving at the extra guard spot, Justin Jackson, of course, 3,200 at the extra forward spot, and then Siakam is who I could afford past
Not a
that.
bad lineup.
Not bad. Not bad.
Uh,
Siakam against the Nets is a pretty good play, I think.
I like Lowry a lot. I just want to attack Brooklyn. So I definitely don't mind him at the point guard spot.
We're going to start with Lowry. Okay.
Yeah. Think we can go right straight to the Thunder now.
Yes.
Just trying to see where they're at position eligibility wise. Let's throw in Maladon.
Yeah. You forgot Maladon. That was the one I was thinking that you didn't have in there. That has to be in there.
Yeah, I definitely like me some Maladon. He's point guard, shooting guard eligible. I'm going to go ahead and go shooting or small forward.
We're going to play something cheap, right? Like Baisley or Diallo. Or that Jackson guy eligible for this spot?
I think he's power forward, I believe. So let's
Bacon is Orlando. Okay. I like that matchup against
Yeah.
Chicago.
I think Baisley.
We're going to go Baisley.
Yeah.
I think he could have
No, we're going to go Hamidou Diallo.
a little bit cheaper.
Yeah. And then power forward, I think we're going to just scrub it up here with the Thunder. We're
Okay.
going to ride and die with the Thunder.
I'm with
We're
it. I
going to go
like
Justin Jackson.
Nice.
So now we got 7,200 for our last 4 spots. Let's
We got to
see.
go Vooks, right?
I think so. I think
mean-
that's just a really smart play tonight.
Unless you want to go leverage off and go Sabonis. Like,
Well, we could still play Sabonis potentially.
Yeah.
So let's fire in Vooch
Vooch.
because he's center only.
I like it.
Guard is Baisley a guard or is he just forward eligible?
I think he's guard eligible.
No, he's
He's on.
forward.
I wouldn't mind it either. We didn't talk about, because he's got a tough matchup. The Ball brothers. I wouldn't mind Lorenzo or one of the Balls.
LaMelo's a little too high priced for me. At
I agree,
7,100.
and I don't like the other Ball matchups. So yeah, there's better plays.
I mean,
I don't mind Anthony at 5,700 Orlando.
Yeah, I think I'd rather just go to Baisley at the forward spot.
Okay, so we're moving to Baisley.
Yeah, and then we can figure out where we're gonna go. What does that leave our? What is that?
7,300.
Okay. I think I would.
Irving. I think
I was gonna say, would you guys rather play Irving or Durant tonight?
I'd say Irving, don't you? I think that either one. I'm fine with either one.
Yeah. They're both pretty juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is nationally televised. Durant likes to show off.
Mhm.
That's a good point.
I just kind of
Let's go
think
Durant.
I think you want to go Durant.
Yeah.
Okay.
That leaves us 5K at the guard spot.
Okay. Let's see what we got.
Ish Smith is not a terrible play.
Oh, I'm not playing Ishmael. I'm not going there tonight, especially with Westbrook back.
Yeah.
He burned me so bad the
I
other
wish
night.
I wish Ball was 5,000.
If we had 5,700
We could play Anthony.
to play Anthony,
I think it might be Anthony and Irving then, right?
could be. That's kind of what I'm. Unless maybe you want to go
Oh,
Anthony
no, Irving
Edwards.
Ooh, I do like Anthony. Yes, let's run Anthony Edwards back. I think he's going to have a big game
I
tonight.
kind of do too, and I kind of like we're running it back on the Minnesota side. So
Ant-
we're going Kyrie and then Anthony Edwards,
Edwards is 54, right?
55, I believe.
55. And then
So
Kyrie.
you went with Kyrie instead?
Yeah.
And
I like Kyrie.
Okay.
Okay. Quick review. In the point guard, we got Lowry. In the shooting guard, we got Maladon, who'll be playing point for Oklahoma City Knight. Small forward, we got Diallo. Power forward, we got Jackson. As we said, we're stacking this game. Vooks at center, who will probably be very highly owned. Edwards, who I don't think will be highly owned. Baisley, who I don't think will be highly owned. And Irving, who will.
I think all the Oklahoma City guys will be fairly chalky. But here's the thing: it's a 9-game slate. I don't think anyone's going to be overly chalky.
Okay.
And I think one thing I've been noticing is this week I feel like I've been trying to get a little too cute on my lineups. Like I'm like worrying way too much about the ownership percentages, and just not going with the guys who I think are the better plays.
Yeah, we got to just play our players.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think we're getting different enough with the Edwards play that I don't think a lot of people will be on him. In NBA, you only have to really be different 1 or 2 spots. You don't have to be different every spot. And Kyrie, I think the ownership is going to get spread out amongst those 3 guys. You know,
Yeah.
So I think I like this lineup quite a bit. Granted, it's 12:03, and like probably half of our roster will be ruled out by lineup lock. That's just the way it's been going.
Give me 1 second. Fill in here for me. I'm doing some phone stuff.
So what are you doing for the Super Bowl, Jared?
Well, let me ask you guys: who do you think is going to win? I mean,
Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs. You don't think Tom Brady has a chance at all?
I mean, if the NFL wants to rig it for Tom Brady, they do.
They will. They could.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to call pass interference on everything he throws up,
So
sure.
so you think that Tom Brady definitely will be coming from behind, and so he's going to have to throw the ball out a lot?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. You trying to argue that Tom Brady should be your captain spot?
No. I'm just collecting information where you guys sit. Because if you think Tom Brady is going to have to come from behind, I would probably put a Tampa Bay wide receiver at captain.
Ooh,
Granted,
okay.
there is.
So we'll do this real quick before we do our over-unders in the NBA. I will share with you all my lineup for the NFL.
Should we build a second half Super Bowl lineup for a showdown? NFL?
I went the complete opposite way that you sound like you're going. I captained Tyreek Hill. I'm playing Hardman, who's going to have at least 1 rush, or I'm going to be bankrupt.
We may not have a place to do the show
we
next
may be
week.
selling the studio if Hardman doesn't have 1 carry on the game. I went with Ronald Jones at 2,200 because that's dirt, and he could easily get a touchdown. Kelsey, Mahomes, Scotty Miller.
Are you not worried about
Scotty
Fournette
Miller.
at all? Or
I
I'll be honest, I have not been really watching the playoffs that much, so I don't really know what's going on.
Fournette has put up great numbers, but Jones is getting carries, and I'm at 2,200. I'm wanting to play all the Kansas City stars, and Jones allows me that luxury with the opportunity of still getting a touchdown.
That makes sense. I mean,
and
Jones.
we never know. In the last 2 weeks, he could have gotten healthy, and they might come right back to Ronald Jones as getting the bulk of the carries. I'm more doing it because I want to play Kelsey, Mahomes, Hardman, and Hill.
That makes sense.
I think you have all the scoring for the game. I mean, you might get a Williams or Clyde Hilaire touchdown, but have you seen the prop totals for the running backs? Like Williams is 28 yards and Edwards Hilaire is 26 yards.
Wow.
So you can tell you that Vegas thinks that they're just going to come out and they're going to run with Hardman.
So you went Hill for your captain, Hardman. Who else?
Jones the second, Kelsey, Mahomes, and then Scotty Miller, who I think has big touchdowns.
Is there some scrub that you think would maybe get a couple plays?
Ronald Jones, 2,200 is hard to get less.
He's 3,300. I'm seeing on Showdown. Am I wrong?
I don't know. It says 2,200 right here on mine.
Are
you playing
You talking about Scotty Miller? Is that what you said?
Oh, the reason is because I'm looking at him at captain spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ronald.
So here's do you think that it's going to be a close game or it's not going to be a close game?
I think it's going to be closer than people think it's going to be.
Of course it's going to be. It depends. It's going to be. I mean, think about this. The Chiefs last year were losing up until when I went to bed. The Chiefs were down by 10 points.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's rigged, right? Because San Francisco's terrible and the Chiefs would never be behind. I think it's going to be a close game. Whether the Chiefs win by 10 in the end, that's another story. But I do think most of the game it will be competitive.
The reason I ask this is because, like, when I play showdowns,
I could see Tampa getting a big lead, and we getting our first Mahomes comeback.
Yeah, I just ask this because,
They
like,
can
when
easily control the first part of the game, especially if the two D ends are able to get the sacks that
Yeah.
everybody's hoping that they're able to get.
But where I'm going with this, if I'm doing a showdown like lineup, sometimes, and if I think the game's going to be close, I'll put in some scrub who I think might get some sort of action in the captain spot,
Right.
so that I can play all the studs
Yes.
on both sides.
And then if you get like a field goal kicker, or are you just talking about complete scrub?
Like, I mean, like Ronald Jones is, I would almost consider a scrub. I mean,
I
he's
think,
3,300. I mean,
I think he's not terrible to put in the captain spot because he could end up scoring 2 touchdowns. Right.
Right.
I think the scrubbiest you could go is Brian Pringle for
yeah,
Kansas
that's
City.
another guy. I mean, maybe he just busts off
How
the long
cheap
one.
is Pringle?
Pringle is not as a captain, $1,800, and Watkins is questionable. We won't have Robinson for this game, so the number 3 wide receiver, if Watson sits out, will be Pringle.
I mean, hasn't Tyler Johnson been doing something lately?
Tyler Johnson is kind of in the same area as Pringle, but they have a healthy
How cheap is Tyler?
Evans. They got a healthy Godwin. They got a healthy
Yeah.
Antonio Brown,
Yeah, Tyler Johnson. I can't see being a steward.
and then also Scotty Miller. So he's like the 5th wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, if you plug in Ronald Jones the second, then you're left with $9,300 for your remaining.
You can play
4
almost
players.
everyone.
Yeah, you can
at
play
that
a
point.
lot of good guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, let's do some. So let's just go real quick. I'm captaining the hill. Who you captaining? And we should do. I'll send out a show threesome. Who are you going to captain?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Godwin.
Who are you going to captain?
Ronald Jones.
I like it. And you're going to play all the other Kansas City guys against it. Vince?
I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
Okay. Let's do some over-unders real quick. There's a bunch Friday night. Yeah, I mean, and when I say there's a bunch, there are a bunch tonight. So I'm going to be really quick here. We're over an hour.
Okay, let's do it.
We're going to just nail these out. Levine, 24.5.
No. Fade.
Marketing,
Fade.
18.5. Vuk, 24.5.
Over. Like.
Like. Fournier, 18.5.
Like.
Hayward, 20.5.
Fade.
Williamson, 23.5 against the Pacers. God. Yeah, I don't love it. Ingram, 22.5.
I think I'll fade.
Yeah. Brogdon, 23.5.
Fade.
Sabonis, 22.5.
Like.
Okay, moving on. Bucks at Cavs. We didn't play much of this game. Greek Freaks, 27.5.
Fade it.
Middleton, 19.5.
Fade.
Holiday, 16.5.
Fade.
I kind of like playing Holiday sometimes when in these games because if it's a blowout, he stays in. He seems to be the one that plays
Okay.
the most.
I mean,
I'm going to play him. That's
Yeah.
my play. I'm going to
Okay.
play Holiday at 16.5. Van Fleet, 21.5.
like.
Okay, coming off a big game. Lowry is, they've got, this is nationally televised. So Van Fleet's 21.5, 3.5, 5.5, 3.5 threes.
This is for Lowry.
That's Van Fleet.
Okay. What's Lowry?
Let's go to Siakam. 20.5, 7.5, 3.5. 3.5 being total assists, no threes.
I mean, I kind of like them all against Brooklyn.
You like all those?
I mean, I'm saying I like all the point totals against Brooklyn. I just think it's going to be
Okay,
up and down.
I agree. I'll put it in.
And we're talking about the worst defense in the NBA.
Kyle Lowry, 19.5. I already think I know your answer.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Durant, 27.5. It's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
27.5, 7.5, 4.5, 2.5 threes for Durant. We have not been good on the threes. We kind of got cold on the threes. Kyrie's 24.5, 5.5, 5.5, 2.5.
Kyrie, 24.5.
You like that?
Yep.
Harden is 23.5, 7.5, 10.5, 2.5.
I like the 7.5.
And that's the rebounds.
Yeah. This dude's gotten 2 straight triple doubles.
Okay. Beal 32.5.
Wow.
He's always 32.5. That's his number. Westbrook 21.5.
What's the other stuff for Westbrook?
That's just it. Yeah, only the national televised get the other stuff. Bam 19.5. Butler 21.5. Hero 16.5.
Bam 19.5.
You
Smash.
do? Smash Bam 19. Butler 21.5. Hero 16.5. Yeah, Grant 21.5. Booker 23.5. Paul 16.5.
Is this your boy Jeremy Grant?
Yeah, Jeremy Grant's 21.5.
Fade.
Yeah, I don't like that game a lot.
I don't
Okay.
like Jeremy Grant either.
Other nationally televised game, Tatum is 26.5, 7.5, 4.5, 2.5 threes.
Do you have anything for Brown?
No.
Ooh, that kind of makes me think that maybe Brown's going to sit.
I think Brown is going to sit
I'd go to the over.
over on Tatum points. Oop,
Yeah.
sorry, let me go bet real quick, and then
Ooh,
we already threw 10 bets.
these sweet tarts. They need to be a future sponsor of the show. I don't know what they're missing.
I'm not having very good luck with phones and stuff today. Did that just go in or not? Okay, guys, sorry about this.
I'm going to make so much money when Ronald Jones II has like 4 touchdowns. in the
Share
Super
with
Bowl.
me since I gave you the Ronald Jones II tidbit there.
It's going to be so beautiful.
Okay, real quick, we'll finish this off.
Every time he scores a touchdown, I'll think about you, Juice.
Here's what's going to happen. Ronald Jones is going to throw a touchdown to Tom Brady.
Okay, the last of the night is Kawhi, 26, 5.5, 4.5, 2.5. Paul George, 23.5, 6.5, 4.5, 3.5.
I like the George one.
Over points.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that is it. Well, thank you guys. We didn't get a lot of live stream watchers, but hopefully some people are going to watch this to build their lineups tonight.
Yeah.
It's
We
a
got
big
Matt.
slate.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, Matt. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for tuning
As
in,
always,
Matt.
We got some stuff coming. I'm excited about my noise sound deck here. Anyway, we'll see you guys next Friday for a live stream, and look for Julio and I tomorrow breaking down the what do we got for games tomorrow.
Let me pull it up.
Probably be taking Super Bowl Sunday off. I'm guessing the NBA doesn't have a lot of action tomorrow. I bet there's a lot of games tomorrow because there's not a lot Sunday, right?
I'm seeing a decent amount. 3, 5, 8, 11.
A big
11 on
big-
Sunday?
On
or
Saturday.
'cause
Oh,
they're
on
not gonna
Saturday.
play
Oh,
Sunday.
okay.
Let's see.
Yeah.
You got me just kind of curious on Sunday. Ooh, they do have some games on Sunday.
Toronto.
They got to be
So
early
so
games.
it's all
It's
early.
always
Yeah.
Toronto. It's Toronto, right?
No.
Oh, usually the Canadian team plays on these.
Well, you know where Toronto's playing their home games this year, right?
Where?
Tampa.
Had no idea.
Yeah.
Really? No?
Literally no idea. Did
Yeah.
you have any idea?
No, I didn't
had no idea. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe Toronto in playing since the Super Bowl's in Tampa.
All the games are at noon, and the latest tip-off is at 2. I'm going to be playing that for sure.
Okay, well, we'll be back tomorrow to break down that 11-game monster slate,
Yeah, yeah.
and hopefully, after winning you some money, Jared, good seeing you. Good
Yep.
show.
Good being here.
Enjoyed being on the stream. Julio, good show. Enjoyed being on the stream.
I always love it when all 3 of us are together, man.
True.
It's always good.
Okay, we're gonna blow out some candles, calling into the show, and thanks those who are watching.
Yep. See you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys. Sweet.